or defaults. The last one's going to be against law.
Or defaults. Lord. Good morning. This is call number 2021-34255 in the interest of Stephen Hyde. All parties and witnesses, please unmute yourselves and raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Stephanie Mann, and I'm his mother.
All right, and for the state?
Andrea Perard.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent was Robert Tyler Hyde. Mr. Hyde was personally served on August 5th, 2021 at 10:42 a.m. at 1400 FM 3452 Palestine, Anderson County, Texas. And he has not appeared or filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Perard?
That's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Miss Mann. Ma'am, in regards to conservatorship of the child, you're asking to be named sole managing conservator. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is based on the fact that Mr. Hyde, he was served in prison. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But he has since been released and is residing with his father, from what you know. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And based on his extensive drug use and criminal history, you believe it's in the best interest that you be granted sole managing conservator. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in regards to possession and access, the child is 12 years old. Is that right? 11 or
Yes,
12?
ma'am. He's 12.
12. Okay. And child does see the paternal grandfather often. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so you have no objection to a standard possession order being entered in this case, with any, though, pickup and drop off to be at the home of the paternal grandfather. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ideally, you would like for it to be supervised by the grandfather, but you understand that a standard possession order supervised by someone for a long period of time is unlikely. But
Right.
You feel that he's going to be residing with the father for the very near future, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in regards to child support and medical support, since he was just released from jail not long ago, we're using the minimum wage presumption to set support. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is this child covered by insurance?
He's on Medicaid.
We're going to order you to maintain that government assistance, and Mr. Hyde will reimburse the state at $56 beginning January 1st of 2022. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And in regards to current child support, that will be set at $215 beginning January 1st of 2022. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you are also asking for retro support for the last 4 years. But during that time period, Mr. Hyde was in jail for approximately a year of that time. So we could not provide you child support during that 1 year time period. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
So for those last 4 years, it's really 36 months and the amount is $7,740 because 1 year of that would be set at zero. And he's going to be paying that back at $100 per month beginning January 1st of 2022. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also asking that your address and information be kept out of this court order and a non-disclosure be granted based on the criminal history and threats that he's made to you in the past and the drug use. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That concludes the order, Your Honor. I pass my witness.
Okay, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mann. You're free to go. You can leave this
All right.
meeting since you've signed the order.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is called number 2021-44308 in the interest of Alyssa Ballard. All parties and witnesses, please unmute yourselves and raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please unmute yourself, Ms. Ballard.
Yes,
All right, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
yes. My name is Anita Ballard, and I'm the mother of Alyssa Ballard.
Okay, and representing the state,
Andrea Perard.
court will note that the non-custodial parents, Donnie Devon Lee, Mr. Lee, was personally served on August 5th, 2021 at 9:48 a.m. at 1534 Daisy Bell Lane in Houston, Harris County, Texas. And he's not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
He was given further notice of this Zoom hearing by certified mail. Return receipt requested that was delivered on October 21st, 2021, and he has not checked in. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Ms. Ballard. Ma'am, in regards to the paternity of the child, is it your testimony today that Mr. Lee is the only person who could possibly be the father of the child, Alyssa Ballard?
Yes,
He's the only one that you had intimate relationship with during the probable time of conception. Is that correct?
yes, that's correct.
And you're asking to keep the child's last name as Ballard. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
In regards to conservatorship, you have no objection to being named conservator, with you designating the residence with a geographic restriction to Harris and contiguous counties. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, in regards to the possession and access, Mr. Hyde has had limited or if any possession with the child. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so should he choose to begin a possession with the child, you're asking for the phase-in periods of possession of 8 periods each. And then once that's completed, then an SPO, standard possession order, being entered in this case. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes, that's correct.
And as for his income, we are using the minimum wage presumption to calculate his child support. And how is this child covered by insurance?
She's covered by Medicaid.
We're going to order you to maintain that government medical assistance. And Mr. Lee will be reimbursing the state at $25 beginning January 1st of 2022. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes,
Mr. Lee does have 4 additional children that we are giving him credit for, in addition to the cost of the health insurance, which would make his current support $152 beginning January 1st of 2022. Is that your understanding and agreement?
yes,
And you are asking for retroactive child support from the date of birth up until now in the amount of $3,344, and that he pay that back at $75 beginning January 1st of 2022. Is that your understanding and agreement?
yes,
Now, in regards to it, you're asking for a non-disclosure in this case because he has been argumentative and difficult in the past with you, and possibly has he ever threatened you?
yes. He's threatened me and my family.
And so with that, you are also asking for a pickup and drop off to be at the Deerbrook Mall food court. And you believe that keeping your address and information out of this court order is in the best interest of your safety, your family's safety, and the child's safety. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Ma'am, if he knows your address, is he likely to harass or abuse or cause serious harm or injury to you or your child?
Yes, he would. If he knows my physical address, he would most likely just show up unannounced and just knock on my. He'll just knock on the door. He did it before. He's just very disrespectful, and he'll just like damage my property and stuff like that if I don't answer. If I don't open the door for him.
All right.
So I just prefer
Thank
to
you.
keep my address out of the court.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Perez.
Nothing further. I pass the witness.
Okay, hold on a second. Did we talk about retroactive? No.
We did, Your Honor, from the date of birth until now in the amount of $3,344 minimum.
All right. All right, the court will approve the order as submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have so many. Ms. Ballard, you can leave the meeting. You've signed the order, so you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, this is cause number 2021-44088 in the instance of July Long. All parties and witnesses, please unmute yourselves and raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Elisa Ashworth, and I'm the mother of Jalea Long.
All right, and representing the state?
Andrea Perard.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Randolph Long III. Mr. Long was personally served on August 10th, 2021. At 10:06 a.m. at 1100 FM 655 Road, Ramsey Unit DCJ in Sharon, Brazoria County, Texas. And he has not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Ms. Perard?
That's correct, Your Honor.
He was given further notice of this Zoom hearing by certified mail return receipt requested, which was delivered October 21st, 2021 at 11:50 a.m. And he has not checked in, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, at this time, the state would like to bring to the court's attention the fact that this filing was originally filed as a paternity action. We've also had pled for a presumed father, Kendrick Kelly. The state at this time is abandoning and non-suiting our request for a paternity finding and non-suiting out the presumed father, Mr. Kelly, as the state has determined that Ms. Ashworth and Mr. Kelly were in fact divorced prior to when the child was born. And
All right.
the AOP signed by Mr. Long is valid. And so he has already been established and adjudicated as the father pursuant to that AOP.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. And at this time, the state would call Ms. Ashworth. Ma'am, in regards to the conservatorship, you have no objection to being named joint managing conservator with Mr. Long. Is that correct?
Correct.
With you designated residents with a geographic restriction to Harris County and contiguous counties. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, Mr. Long is currently incarcerated and has been. And so once he is released, you have no issues with him having a possession and access. Is that right?
Correct.
But that you're asking for that to be 2 phases of 6 periods of possession for a short period of time from 9 to 6, and then 6 periods of 1 overnight until you go into a standard possession order, just so that they can rebuild that relationship. Is that
Correct.
And once that's completed, a standard possession order will be entered and you have no objection to that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Since he is currently incarcerated, you understand that child support and medical support will both be set at 0 beginning January 1st of 2022. That can always be modified once he is released, but I believe his projected release date is 2025. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And how is this child covered by insurance?
Medicaid.
We'll order you to maintain that government medical assistance. And you are not asking for any retroactive child support, medical support, or dental, in part because he's incarcerated. Is that right?
Correct.
That concludes the order, Your Honor. I pass my witness.
All right, the order will be approved as submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ashworth, you've signed the order. You're free to leave the meeting.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, we're on cause number 2021-19400 in the interest of Azariah McCardle. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands and unmute yourselves. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, sir, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Frank Tillis, I'm the father.
All right, and for the state,
Andrea Perard.
court will note that the custodial parent, Clenisha McCardle, is not present. Ms. McCardle was personally served on May 6, 2021 at 1:49 p.m. at 1250 Owen Street in Houston, Harris County, Texas. And she appeared in court on July 21st, 2021. And signed a reset order setting this matter for hearing today. And she has not checked in or appeared. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state would also ask you to take judicial notice of the DNA test report, which should be in the court's file, identifying Mr. Tillis as the father.
Court will note that the DNA test report will indicate that alleged father, Frankie Tillis, is not excluded as biological father. That's the child, Azariah McCardle, the child is subject to this suit. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Mr. Tillis. Mr. Tillis, you understand that by this court order today that you are being acknowledged as the father of the child, Azariah Abrel McCardle. And is that your understanding and agreement?
Yes.
And that the state in agreement with you is non-suiting and abandoning our request for all other terms, which includes naming you a conservator, possession and access, setting child support, medical support, retroactive child support, surname change, and any non-disclosure findings in this case. And we're only proceeding on the issue of paternity. Is that your understanding and your agreement?
Yes.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Tillis, I believe you signed the order. You're free to leave the meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, this is cause number 2021-41586 in the interest of Carolina, Veronica, Valeria, and Hector Lopez. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Gonzalo Lopez Jr., the father.
And representing the state.
Luis Regla.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Ana Elizabeth Juarez. Ms. Juarez was personally served on July 22nd, 2021 at 12:58 p.m. at 12603 Haven Rock Drive in Houston, Harris County, Texas. She's not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Mr. Regla?
Correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Judge. I call Mr. Lopez. And sir, you are the father of the 4 children in this case, Carolina, Veronica, Valeria, and Hector. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the mother, Ana Elizabeth Juarez, left the children with you May of last year, and they've been living with you exclusively since then. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Since that time, as far as you know, she abuses both marijuana and cocaine and was in an abusive relationship with someone you know as an actual drug dealer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that person has actually threatened you since that time that he's going to come after you and wanted to assault you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Although you have no problem with the mom knowing your address and phone number, you are concerned about that third party knowing your information if it gets published in this court order. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you're asking that the court grant non-disclosure as to a third party in this case, not as to the mom in this case. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
The mother has essentially done nothing for these children since she left them with you May of last year and has rarely seen them, maybe a few times since then. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
When the visits happened, they took place at the Aunt Barbara Benitez address on the Haven Rock Street where the mother was actually served. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
As far as you know, the mom doesn't actually live there. That's just where she was served at, and that's the aunt's address. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Going forward, are you asking to be appointed sole managing conservator and a modified schedule of visits for the mom, if and when she ever does choose to see her kids again at the maternal aunt's house?
Yes, sir.
And you think that's in the best interest of the children, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
We don't actually know if the mom has a job that pays her. As far as you know, she may be selling fruit or something like that at some intersection you've seen her at on 290 and Hollister. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
We don't know if she's actually working though. Is that
Yes, sir.
correct? So going
Yes,
forward,
sir.
we're asking, okay, so going forward, you don't want any kind of back pay and child support, no retroactive support, only asking for current child support, start next month based on minimum wage with 101 for the medical support and 363 guideline child support for the 4 kids based on minimum wage. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And going forward, we're also going to put in there for government health insurance to be in place for all 4 children that you're applying for and you're going to maintain. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you believe all these things are in the best interest of the kids?
Yes, sir.
And you're asking the court to approve of this default order against the mother. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I pass the witness.
Yes, sir.
I have nothing further from the witness, Your Honor.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Lopez, you've already signed. You can hang up the call and log off.
All right, then. Thank you.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
All right, is this a Howard case?
I believe so, Your Honor. Caller 80, last 3 digits 804. If you can *6 to unmute yourself. Caller last 3 digits 804, *6 to unmute yourself, please. Caller, what is your name,
All right.
please?
Hold on a second.
I'm sorry?
Hold on a second. This
Oh,
is
I'm
cause,
sorry, Judge.
this
I
is cause
thought
number,
this,
okay, this is cause number 2021-20987 in the interest of Rua Isabella Jones. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. I think we must have a bad connection.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Sir, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Clyde Howard. Relationship to the child, I don't even know that's my daughter or not. So I'm requesting a DNA test.
All right, hold on a second. Representing the state?
Andrea Perard.
Court will note that the custodial parent, Mary Ann Sherelle Jones, um, is not present. And she was personally served on April 22nd, 2021 at 3:02 p.m. She's not filed an answer, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, we will proceed by default. What are we doing here?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, we did discuss the case with Howard. This is a paternity action. He is asking for DNA testing, which we agree to. The issue is we wanted to put it on the record because he does not have email access to sign off on said DNA order. So we just wanted to put it on the record that he is in agreement to do the DNA testing, that we will notify him of where he needs to go, and that the case will be reset to March 22nd of 2020.
Okay, is all that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'm going to go ahead and grant or order DNA testing, and the case is reset to March 22nd, 2022. Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Oh.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, God.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Howard, we will be in contact with you regarding scheduling your testing, okay? You're